This second area highlights the designs of Juliana Kwefio-Kai, better known as her brand name Chez Julie, who happens to be Ghana's first formally trained fashion designer. What's important to know about Chez Julie is that she left Ghana in 1958 to travel to Paris to become formally trained as a fashion designer. She studied at the École Guerlain, which is now known as ESMOD. She finished her degree in 2 years as opposed to the customary 3, and then she returned to Accra, the capital of Ghana, and began immediately revolutionizing Ghana's fashion culture. This garment by Chez Julie is important because it shows how Ghanaian women designers take inspiration from men's forms of dress and revolutionize them and adapt them for women. If you look at this, you'll see that this is essentially a tunic top. It's tie and dye, and we know that it was produced in the early 1970s. And Chez Julie took direct inspiration from a men's bubu or a riga. These are forms of men's dress that are worn throughout West Africa, primarily in Nigeria, and they're typically worn by very wealthy and important Muslim men. As you can see, the bubu is all about size and an accumulation of material, and so looking at these two together, you can see that Chez Julie was certainly inspired by the overall silhouette and form of the garment, but she made quite a few revisions to make it more adaptable and relatable for women. So if we look at this very carefully, what you'll notice is that Chez Julie created a curved hemline, first of all, that allowed for more fluidity of the garment. She also shortened the length of the bubu to make it more wearable. And then something that she did that's very important is that if you look really carefully, you'll see that from the one hem of the tunic to the center of the garment, there's a diagonal stitch. And why she did that is because historically, the men's bubu would have been open so that the man's body underneath would be on display or visible. And Chez Julie wanted to make sure that the woman's body was not visible or on display. So she created the diagonal stitch so that the woman could wear it and not expose her body. And that is really evidence of what is called a negotiation. And when we talk about African feminism, one of the hallmarks of African feminism is this idea of negotiation, of being innovative and making changes that are significant, but at the same time negotiating with the system that is in place. And so that is what Chez Julie did through this garment. And then the last thing I'll just say that makes this particularly special is that Chez Julie's family shared with us that they think Chez Julie may have made this tie and dye herself. So really, Chez Julie's own hands helped create this garment, which makes it particularly special.